Hello, Kelsey Taylor here. Welcome to our top list video. It's been a long time since I've done one. Usually a few months ago I could have done my favorite movies of 2020, but because of the pandemic I haven't been able to do a favorites list since not that many movies came out in the theaters last year. But there will be one, but just not for a while, because there's still a lot of movies that I wanted to see that came out last year, that were able to come out last year. I just haven't gotten to see yet, so it's going to be a while before you see my favorite movies of 2020. You know, it's been a long time. Even a lot of people didn't do their list because not a lot of stuff came out, and I feel like I'm going to be doing it a bit different this year for 2020. Like talking about my favorite movies and least favorite movies I saw. Talking about almost every movie I've seen in 2020, but that will have to take some time because there's some movies I really want to see first. Because if I don't, it's going to be a very extremely small list. Now, speaking of lists, as you know, I'm doing another top list video, and many months ago I've done a video talking about my favorite movies directed by Robert Zemeckis, and I said I'd be doing some top list videos talking about my favorite movies from Pacific directors. And it took me a while, and I just came up with this idea. This is basically like a last minute thing. I'm going to be talking about my top 5 favorite movies directed by Jon Favreau. How do you pronounce his name again? I know you're reading the title, but I don't want to mispronounce his name really bad, so I'm going to have it on the screen here. Favreau. Jon Favreau, you know, who plays Happy in some of the Marvel films. You also know him as a film director of certain movies. And now, one of these you're not going to be very happy is on the list, but keep this in mind. This is just an opinion. If you like some of these movies, like, let me know what some of your favorite films from this director are. But I narrowed down to 5. He hasn't directed that many, but 5 movies are definitely, like, I think my favorites he's done, and especially one that I'm going to mention that I managed to pick up today that you guys should check out. Alright, let's start off with number 5 with The Lion King 2019. I talked about this movie before. I even have it right here because I had to use something to stack like the camera underneath so you can see me well. But I personally like this movie. Technology-wise, it's probably the best part. I know it's like written word for word. Some scenes are shot scene by scene from the original. But I don't know. As a Lion King fan, I kind of like this fine. I put this at the bottom of the list because I know a lot of people don't like this one. And like, it's not really his strongest work either. But for what it is, I thought for a live-action Disney remake, it's decent. Not one of my all-time favorites, but it's Lion King. You know, I had no choice but to like it. Number 4, Thor. There's a good chance that many of you probably didn't even know that he directed that movie, and I didn't know who he was at the time. That was like before the Marvel stuff, and I remember seeing that movie in theaters when I was like 12 years old, and I thought it was a lot of fun. I remember liking it, and Josh Hutcherson, I believe, was in it. Yeah, before he got famous with Hunger Games and all that, and I didn't know who he was either. And Dax Shepard was in it, and Kristen Stewart before she did Twilight. I think it was one of her first movies or something. And Thor's based off a book by the same author who did Jumanji. So it's kind of like Jumanji in space. But I think Jumanji is a better movie. But Thor, I remember, was a lot of fun and very intense. And I remember seeing it with a little kid in the theater, and he got real scared by it. I think it's from the aliens. But Thor is really a fun film, and I think, you know, Jon Favreau did a great job on that one. Like, a good job. Number 3, Iron Man. Now, this is the movie that started off the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I haven't seen all the Iron Man movies. I've only seen the first 2. The first film that he's also in, I think, is Happy as well, and he directed, was pretty. It's like Iron Man. It's an awesome movie. Like, you can't talk about Iron Man because you all know about it. And if you don't know, I could just say one thing. Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man is awesome. Like, he does a great job in that. And Jon Favreau as Happy is kind of like a little comic relief, but he's pretty funny. And the first Iron Man is definitely like a must-see superhero film. So if you like that kind of stuff, go watch Iron Man. Number 2, Elf. Before he got big with Marvel, Jon Favreau directed a Christmas movie that, of course, a lot of you know about. Elf stars Will Ferrell, and I'm not really a big Will Ferrell fan, but this is the only Will Ferrell movie that's my favorite. And you know about Elf. This heartfelt. It's funny. It's a really good Christmas film, and of course Jon Favreau did a good job with that one. Like, you know, anything with Will Ferrell I always cringe at, but this one, you know, I'm like I have a little respect for Will Ferrell because of this film. So yeah, what can you say about Elf? It's definitely a classic Christmas film that Jon Favreau directed, and yeah, so if you haven't seen it, go watch it next Christmas. Now, here's my #1 favorite Jon Favreau directed movie, and that is Chef. Now, I only watched this movie once a couple years ago, and the movie's on Netflix, so you can go check that out if you have that streaming service. And I don't remember too much about the plot. I think Jon Favreau is a chef, and there's a scene where he makes this really good, delicious grilled cheese sandwich that I really want a recipe for, because that looks yummy. And he goes on tour with his son and some friends, like in the food truck, like going on tour across country. That's all I can remember. So, but I have to like watch this again. I was at Big Lots today, and I was going through the movies to see what they have, and a lot of movies that I already have or don't want. I was like, you know, was like going through all sections of the DVDs. I'm like losing all hope. I was even going through the Blu-rays that had DVDs selected in, and I was like, God. And I came across this, and I almost screamed of joy in the store. I mean, and they only had one copy of it, so I'm lucky to have this. I think this is my favorite film he's directed, and it has a big cast. It has not just Jon Favreau, but it has Sofia Vergara, John Leguizamo, Scarlett Johansson, Oliver Platt, Bobby Cannavale, I don't know who that is, Dustin Hoffman, and Robert Downey Jr. is in this. Oh, I forgot about that. But yeah, this is definitely like, if you're really into food, you love cooking, and this is like another fun. It's a comedy, I believe, mostly comedy mixed with drama. I'm not sure, but this is definitely a movie I highly recommend to you guys. And it's on Netflix. Go watch it. It's definitely, like, I don't hear people talk about it that much, but this one I would definitely recommend. It's my favorite Jon Favreau film he's directed and acted in. And okay, that's it. This is pretty much a quick list for you guys today. I'm talking about my top 5 favorite movies that Jon Favreau has directed. And let me know what your top favorite movie he directed is, or any kind of movies that he stars in. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Adios.